Competition has always driven mankind to produce the best out of himself. Whether it was food gathering for survival, business, or sport, the drive to outdo a peer has always kept excitement and challenges alive and well. In 1925, the Bayview Yacht Club of Detroit came up with an idea of challenging many of its members by hosting a race. Not just a race, but a yearly event that over the last 100 years plus has drawn thousands of spectators. That race, which is officially known as the Bayview Mackinac Yacht Race, has lovingly been renamed to most as simply the Port Huron Mackinac Race Weekend. In 1925, the first gun was fired to begin the Bayview Mackinac Race, which is a 204 to 259 nautical mile race that starts in southern Lake Huron near Port Huron and finishes on Mackinac Island. In 1924, Bayview Yacht Club member Lloyd W. Berry skippered the boat, the schooner, to victory in the Newport Burma Ocean Race. It was a 731-mile ocean race featuring a schooners and catchers division, sparking enthusiasm for similar endurance events to be held on Lake Huron. Among post-World War I, sailors began to eagerly demonstrate their skills, so the race was co-organized with the Port Huron Yacht Club, reflecting a collaborative effort among Great Lakes yachting communities to establish the premier annual event. The inaugural race featured just 12 wooden boats, mostly canvas-sailed sloops, yawls, and schooners, starting in Port Huron and covering the 235-mile-long course. Amid blustery conditions and high winds, only 6 boats completed the challenging voyage, with the 32-foot sloop Berdina, skippered by Bayview Yacht Club member Russ Pollitt, claimed a victory in 48 hours, 49 minutes, and 49 seconds. The initial rules emphasized amateur participation, limiting entries to monohull yachts, but the event would quickly grow, evolving from its modern 1925 fleet into a regular annual tradition by the 1930s, with steady increased entries that underscored growing interest in competitive yachting on the Great Lakes. This early expansion solidified the race's roles as a cornerstone to the regional sailing culture, fostering camaraderie amongst amateur sailing crews, while highlighting the navigational demands of the Great Lakes' unpredictable waters. Beyond competition, the Bayview Mackinac Race fosters a vibrant sailing community, highlighting its traditions, like the Society of Mackinac Race Old Goats, which honors great rams who are veterans who have completed at least 50 races totaling over 14,000 miles sailed. During World War II, the race encountered significant logistical hurdles from wartime restrictions on fuel and navigation, prompting the Bayview Yacht Club to consider suspending the event in 1942. However, a message from the White House encouraged its continuation as a means to train young sailors in essential skills, allowing the event to proceed annually despite the constraints. The race holds the distinction of being the world's longest continuous long-run freshwater yacht race. Over the decades, it has grown into being one of North America's premier sailing competitions, attracting hundreds of entries each year across multiple divisions, including racing monohulls, double-handed boats, cruising yachts, and multi-hulls. Starting at the mouth of the Black River in the St. Clair River, before entering Lake Huron, it concludes near Windermere Point on Mackinac Island, often spanning 2 to 4 days based on weather conditions. Participants select from 2 primary courses. The shorter course, which follows Michigan's eastern shoreline for 204 nautical miles and passes landmarks such as Thunder Bay and Boys Block Island. Or the longer course, venturing into Canadian waters near Georgian Bay before returning. In 1935, in response to the safety concerns from exposed open water passages, the course was extended, routing boats along Cove Island off the Canadian shore to avoid the hazardous shoals in Saginaw Bay. This change aimed to provide more protected paths during storms, but proved challenging due to the longer distances and stronger currents, leading to its abandonment after 1936 in favor of the shorter shoreline variant. The starting line was standardized at 4.5 miles north of the Blue Water Bridge, a position retained to optimize fair starts away from congested shipping lanes. Since 1972, the race has offered dual courses to accommodate diverse boats and speeds and crew experience. For faster vessels, venturing towards Georgia Bay for tactical depth and wind advantages, and the 204 nautical mile shore course, tracing the Michigan coast over the calmer waters and easier navigation. Both conclude at the Round Island Channel finish line between Round Island and Mackinac Island. This allowed for precise GPS tracking and safety monitoring amid fog and other low visibility environments. The 50th edition of the race in 1974 featured over 200 boats, surpassing the 1961 threshold of 200 and signaling a robust growth in regional sailing interest post-World War II. The 1985 edition was marked by violent storms featuring gale-force winds up to 50 knots and waves of 15 to 20 feet, which damaged or led to the abandonment of 96 of the 305 boats, including the sinking of a yacht, Tomahawk, whose crew was safely rescued, but no deaths, prompting the race organizers to enhance safety protocols, including the eventual mandatory emergency positioning indicating radio beacon system for better distress signaling. The Centennial 100th race in 2024 drew a record 334 entries on the original 1925 shore course, but light winds prolonged the finishes. The 101st race in 2025 returned to the dual courses with 191 entries. In recent years, the race has navigated through modern disruptions, including the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. The 2024 race experienced light winds that delayed the start of nearly 2 hours and resulted in slower progress for many of the entries. Overall, the Port Huron Mackinac race remains a yearly event that not only thrills its participants, but also the thousands who attend each year to celebrate the event.